So your company's flowing, things are going all right, but you're stagnating across your social platforms and your weekly content, whether that's a blog, a podcast, or a video. And maybe you're starting to think, is all of this really worth the effort? Or perhaps you're satisfied with the current level of engagement that you're receiving. Either way, I'm here to tell you that if you're not deploying content and social media on a consistent basis, when it comes to social media several times a week, when it comes to your regular content at least weekly, well, then you're leaving money and exponential growth on the table. So by the end of this podcast, you really will have the fundamental tools that you can use to organize an effective content marketing and social media marketing strategy, and the confidence to commit to creating new content every single week. Hello and welcome to another episode of Digital Marketing Made Simple. I'm your host, Jenny Lyon, and today I really wanted to dig into why editorial and social media calendars can create tremendous growth in your business. And I have some free templates for you too. So let's jump right in. Well, today I'm really going to cover several of my most important tips for staying consistent with not only your social media, but your regular weekly content as well. And you can really gain so much growth when you put your content and your social media on autopilot. So number one, you really want to build out an editorial and a social media marketing calendar. So listen, I live and breathe content and social media. It's what I do. And I really love helping others learn to gain control of their content and their social media and get them real results. So I've got to start with a couple of really great templates that I have. So you want to maybe hit pause, take a break, and jump over and grab both of them. Because I think as you start to kind of look through them, it's going to come together for you. So I have a 3-month content calendar, which you can jump over and grab at jennylyon.com/content calendar. And I also have a social media marketing calendar. You can grab that at jennylyon.com/social media calendar. And both of these calendars are really perfect for organizing and planning your upcoming content. So you can really get a head start on increasing traffic and engagement across your website and all of your social media platforms. And editorial and social media marketing templates really let you plan out your content river months in advance. So when it comes time to create your content for the month, you really already will have an idea of the content that you want to create. That way, you really spend less time focusing on what type of content, what should I create? You're not wasting time trying to come up with those ideas on the fly. And that way you're also not rushing, to pull something together with a real lackluster result. So it's really essential to plan your content with care and with a laser focus on the message that you want to send to your audience. When you put your content together in a really thoughtful way, your audience will see that and it really resonates with them. Whereas if you rush your content, your audience will see that too. But instead of it resonating, at least in a good way, they will really attribute a lack of focus and care to your brand. And so the best way to set yourself up for success when it comes to your weekly content is to plan ahead. So editorial calendars really list the different types of content that you are going to put out every single week. So I've talked about this before, but in your business, you really should be putting out some sort of content on a weekly basis. So whether that's a new blog post, a podcast, a YouTube video, you need some sort of new piece of content going out every single week. And then you can use that content to create your social media content that you'll use going forward. So when you create your editorial calendar in a digital type spreadsheet, you can really collaborate with your team. If you have a virtual digital marketing team like ours, or any other people that you want to bring into your world, it's a really great way to keep your team all on the same page. Whereas with social media marketing calendars, they're really great at forecasting your marketing campaigns, across themes or weeks or months, and really gives you a way to keep a very clear record of the different types of, subjects, themes that you are going to plan out over this content. And it helps you too to see what's working, what's not working, and can even give you some really great insight into topics that maybe you can rehash or that you could expand upon, that type of thing. And it also gives you an expansive view of your overall social media deployment. So again, if you have like a digital marketing team like ours, or if you're working with an internal team of some sort, you can pull them in onto this calendar so that you can catch any type of gaps or opportunities and anticipate things coming up, like special events or holidays or milestones that you really want to capitalize within your social media. Okay, so back to that one piece of new content that you're going to create every single week. So, these days you absolutely must be posting stuff on social media on a very regular basis, really several times a week. And you need to create consistent growth and attention online. So again, whether you're creating a weekly blog, podcast, video, you really need to be consistent with that every single week. And, I have a really great blog I just thought about that has 8 common mistakes to avoid when creating your social media content. So I'll link to that in the show notes, because that might also help you kind of wrap your mind around what you don't want to do. So you want to take your pick, whether it's going to be a blog, a video, a podcast. As long as you're posting consistently, it doesn't matter what type of content you're creating, as long as it really represents you and your brand. And so if you prefer blogging, great, that's fantastic. If you're more comfortable in front of the camera, perfect, record a video, right? And, if everyone tells you all the time, you have such a great voice, record a podcast, whichever you choose is fine. Really play towards your strengths, and your access to equipment and your ability, and make sure that you're picking what's going to be the right fit for you. So you want to take that one piece of content, whatever that is that you decide to create, and you want to take that and pull it apart and use it in as many ways as you possibly can. So that's the real secret when it comes to content. You can cut it up, you can edit it, you can transform it into so many different pieces that you can use in all of your marketing. So if you consider recording a podcast episode as your piece of content that you're going to create every single week, there's so many things you can do with that one piece of a podcast content, right? You could use that content to take the show notes, or, have the podcast, turned into a blog. Then you have something else to, put on your website and help with SEO. You could pull some of the really great tidbits and quotes out, and you could use those for Instagram or Facebook posts or LinkedIn posts. You could make stories out of them. You could pull the video apart and use the snippets in different ways. There's so many ways that you can really take that one piece of content to make several pieces of content that you can use over the next several weeks. So suddenly your commitment to one piece of content will yield a lot of different types of content that you can use throughout your social media in the weeks going ahead. You can also use it to pull it apart to create a newsletter, to go out to your email list. And with a few adjustments that you can really tweak to cater to the different ways that you're going to reuse this content, you can really create a lot of content and create that content river that can really keep you, rolling on social media for weeks to come. So it's a lot of fun. It is. So you really want to watch your social media reach climbs. If everyone is trying to grab attention through social media, those ones that rise to the top are the ones that are consistent. So when you're posting on a very consistent basis every single week, you really start to build on that momentum. And when you post inconsistently, then you're really fighting kind of to reclaim that lost momentum. And so what might have seemed overwhelming at first, can become turnkey once you've committed to creating your editorial and your social media marketing calendars. And your real reward there is that the commitment becomes consistent, and that consistent growth across your blog, your SEO, your social media, all these different places that you're sharing your content, you start to see that grow week after week after week. All right, so what did we learn today? Okay, well, first up, building your own editorial and social media marketing calendars is really essential for planning out an effective content and social media strategy long term. Next is you really want to post on a consistent basis. So you want to make sure that you're putting out at least one piece of new content every single week, whether it's a blog, a podcast, or a video. Just pick one, stick to it, and then we can pull that one piece of content apart and use it as lots of other pieces of content. So it can give you a lot of content that you can use for weeks to come in your social media, in your email marketing. You get the idea. And consistency is really key. That is really the key to most marketing, right? You want to commit to that posting schedule. You want to create that one piece of content every week. Make sure that you're pulling it apart so that you have several pieces of content to post to your social media the rest of the week, and so forth. And of course, if you have any questions at all about creating an editorial calendar, a social media calendar, or other questions about how to tie this into your overall marketing strategy, please reach out. I'm always happy to answer any questions that you have. And make sure that you grab the free templates. They really will get you headed in the right direction. And I think you'll really see a really large improvement in your overall presence as you stick to the social media and editorial calendars. So anytime you have any questions, please grab a call at jennylyon.com/chat. And I'd love to see how we can help you improve your content and your social media presence. Well, that's what I have for you this week. I hope that you found it helpful. I hope that you download the templates and you give it a real great go. And if you do, let me know. I would love to hear how it works out for you. And I'll see you next time on another episode of Digital Marketing Made Simple. See you soon.